forward, a 5'8" freshman from Salt Lake City, Utah, number 21, Jill Bennett. At defender, a 6-foot sophomore from Meridian, Idaho, number 27, Bailey Kroll. At defender, a 5'5" senior from Bountiful, Utah, number 30, Montana Hadley. And at forward, a 5'7" freshman from American Fork, number 33, Brooklyn Vogelsberg. The Trailblazers are coached by Casey Bingham and assisted by Aaron Dirks, Abby Johnson, and Bryce Ross. And now, fans, we'd ask those that are able to please rise and remove your caps for today's playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back for another edition of Dixie State University Women's Soccer. Today, of course, with you as always is myself, James Guerin, alongside with nobody, because I like being by myself. Anyway, we got a pretty good matchup here today. We got your Lady Trailblazers coming in with a record of 10-3. 6-2 in Pac West play, and going up against them to get in their way, we have the Sea Lions of Point Loma. All three teams traveling down here this weekend. As you may have heard on an earlier broadcast, that our Lady Trailblazers did fall in 5 sets. Unfortunate for them. Maybe these Trailblazers can turn it around, keep their winning season alive, as the Sea Lions do come in with a 6-5-1 record, 5-3 in Pac West play, 2 spots below the Trailblazers in the Pac West standings. And I've been looking at the roster for the Sea Lions, like I always do with the opposing team, and I'm shocked by how many freshmen the Sea Lions have on this roster. They have 13 freshmen of their 29 on the roster, and that's phenomenal to be able to still have a winning record and to still be able to compete with the rest of the conference. Like that's special. And you know, they're not having a horrible season and they're not having a fantastic season. They're right there in the smack dab middle. They're playing well, but there's always room for improvement. However, coming into this game, the Sea Lions scored 16 goals, which actually matches our own Darian Murdoch's entire her total on the year. She has 16 goals by herself. And so Point Loma knows that. The whole conference knows that, as she is the reigning Pac West Player of the Year. You don't need a crystal ball to know that Darian Murdoch is the key to the Trailblazers' success, as they need to get her involved early and often, because without her, Yes, they still do have 24 goals without her, which is phenomenal. They come in the season with 40 goals scored and only giving up 12. So a lot of blowout games early on for the Lady Trailblazers. And maybe you might see one here again today as you get a quick possession out of play, and that's going out for a Trailblazer throw-in. It is beautiful weather. I was saying earlier this morning it was a little bit chilly. It was like 57. It has warmed up a little bit. It is at about 68 degrees right now. The sun's shining, and this is by far the best weather that you will see all year long. It's not cold right now. It's not hot. You can go out wearing a t-shirt, and it is gorgeous outside. I wish I was down there on the pitch playing right now. It's fantastic. You can't have better weather than this. And Trailblazers striking in early as Murdoch try to get something going, and a lot of space here early as that one didn't look like it was going to anybody. And that's going to be Kylie Lamb just kicking that out of there. As a little bit of confusion may have happened down on that side of the field. Ashley Smith for the Sea Lions just looked like she just kicked it out, taking it away from her opponent as the ball is able to go out of play for a Sea Lion goal kick as their starting goalkeeper, from what I can see, it looks like it may be number 1, Jessica Warner, a senior. One of 6 seniors on this roster. Very, very young team. And it can be very frustrating at times to play with such a young team with that lack of experience. As Bailey Kroll kicks that up and trying to make something work out of it. Sun's in the keeper's eyes, and that bounces around, and no one's able to get a hand on it. Or a head on it, should I say. And it looks like it's actually number 0, Brianna Linnell. She's a freshman. A freshman starting over a senior. As this one's getting played around in the middle, flicking it up to the forward. Bailey Kroll gets a head on it, trying to save it from going out of play, is able to do so, sends it up forward. Bad touch. The referee gets in the way, and that's going to be Fernanda Osorio. Not liking the ref being in the way as Murdoch has a breakaway, and it is a little bit too in front of her, and Linnell is there to stop any damage. In case you are wondering, as that one goes out of play, in case you are wondering about other sports going on around the Dixie State University world, you do see softball across the way out in the distance, and I don't have any scores for you guys yet. I do know that they played BYU at 1 o'clock, and I believe right now they're playing Snow College. Hopefully those scores will be available to you. Available to me so I can tell you as soon as possible. On the road is our football team, and unfortunately they came up short once again. They fall to Colorado School of Mines 19-17, and it's just been a rough season for our football team, and it's a work in progress, I'll say that much. And next week they'll come back and bounce back for homecoming, and let's all hope that they can give us a show on homecoming. As this one's just getting played around in the back. Bailey Kroll is there once again. Sending it up to Lamb, and Lamb shoots this one forward with the defense as Maddie Kurtz of the Sea Lions. This one goes out of play, and Kroll to take the throw-in. As that one is quickly headed out by Abby Teagle, a sophomore. as this one is played up. Kroll is there again to play it up top to Murdoch. Murdoch doesn't get there, and a lot of long ball here again. The Trailblazers, they're hot right now. I will, and I don't mean that in a way that some people might see it as. I mean, they've won 4 games in a row, people. 4 games, and those 4 games, all shutouts. Excuse me. They gave up 1 goal in those 4 games. And it was against Dominican on the road, and it was a 2-1 victory. But other than that, it's been their first win came against Notre Dame Daniel, which they won convincingly 4-0. And then following that is Dominican, the 2-1 victory. And then they go and travel to Academy of Art and just walk all over them 5-0. And then they come back here on Thursday, 2 days ago, and they win 2-0 against Hawaii Hilo. So the Trailblazers on a bit of a roll right now, and they needed it as Murdoch is racing towards the goal line. Not enough speed, and that one trickles out for a Sea Lion goal kick. But I was saying, they're on a roll, and they need to be. And I say that because they're third. They're half a game behind Azusa Pacific for third in Pac West play. And they are a game behind Cal Baptist. You know, they before this 4-game winning streak, their last game was against Cal Baptist, and they dropped it 4-1. And that really, really hurt them in the standings. I don't see this team missing the playoffs or the tournament by any mean, as that is Tanis Singley bodying up the defender, and I believe that defender is Keegan Bolabol. Excuse me for my mispronunciation, if so. Speaking of Tanis Singley, she is the leading assist leader on the team. She leads the team with 10 assists, and I'm sure most of those are going to Darian Murdoch, as those two are a beautiful 1-2 punch to watch. As they do both graduate this year, those are some big holes that they're going to need to fill in. It looks like there might have been a handball about a couple yards outside of the 18. So here is a golden opportunity for the Lady Trailblazers, as it looks like it's Brooklyn Vogelsberg lining up, as well as Montana Hadley and Kylie Lamb. They like to do their three-man formation, as they do ask for the 10 yards as a courtesy, which is it's a smart tactic. Yes, it's etiquette. It's respecting the game of soccer to not stand as they're inching their way up. And that one goes in the back post, and it hits off of the post. Almost went in for a goal, but what a shot. That it had a little bit more velocity on it. It might have dropped, but that it almost looked like it floated in there. And who other than my favorite front flip Mertz to do the honors, as she whips that one in and bounces out, and to get the head on is Morgan Pierce, as that one gets shot right back into the goalie's box, and it bobbles around and doesn't get a hand on it. And danger here for the Sea Lions, as that's going to be Sarah Steinhaus to kick that one into the construction site over the fence. So good luck to whoever has to get that ball. As front flip Mertz doesn't do the front flip this time, just plays it short to Hadley, and Hadley's just going to boot this one in, hopefully for a deflection. Doesn't get it, as this one is also kicked out for a Trailblazer throw-in. Early pressure is the key for the Trailblazers right now, getting those opportunities. Hey, now that they see the goalie, the keeper doesn't, exactly have the best hands, doesn't exactly catch it. Well, she proved me wrong right there. She must have heard me. But in those jump ball situations, maybe you ought to try a lot of long balls and see if you can capitalize on a mishandle of the ball. as the Sea Lions playing this one around in the midfield. Drops it back down to TJ Verisic. Stepping up is Steinhaus again, and Kroll drops it back to Hadley. Almost taken away, and that misses Brianna Parkinson. Parkinson playing within the middle, looking for space. Drops it back down to Hadley. And Tar just boots this one away, getting it out of the danger zone. As the ref olays himself. Going up the side of the field is Abby Teagle, and she gets that one taken away from her. It goes out for a Sea Lion throw-in. To throw it in for the Sea Lions is Keegan Bolaboy. Bolabol, excuse me. As this one gets kicked in, and that one's going to sail over the goal and out for a goal kick. As for Point Loma, they have a lot of close games and a lot of low-scoring games. But however, Dixie comes in with a 4-game winning streak. Point Loma comes in with a 3-game winning streak. And all of their games have been shut out. They have scored 8 goals in their last 3 games. And that right there, that's half of their season total right there. So they've been on a roll themselves. I mean, yes, it was against Chaminade, Hawaii Hilo, and Hawaii Pacific. So the bottom tier of the conference, not taken away from them that they won those games, but you always got to take that into consideration. As their biggest win of the 3 games was 4-0 on Monday against Hawaii Pacific. As that one gets kicked out of play for a Trailblazer throw-in. The leading goal scorer for the Sea Lions is Ashley Watkins, a freshman. And I want to say she's not even out there right now. I want to say she's a reserve player that comes in and makes a difference, and you can't complain with that. If you have somebody that can come off the bench and make that impact, why not? I do see that she does start half of her games, as there's a shot on goal, and holy smokes, that is a golazo from Montana Hadley from what it looked like to be 40 yards out. I'm going to get the official call on it, but holy smokes, that was from way out there. It looked like a floater to me. As I wish we had replay on here. That was phenomenal. That was incredible, as Dixie takes the early 1-0 lead 13 minutes into the first half. As I'm still waiting for the distance. But that was almost like a Ronaldo FIFA shot. It floated up there and it found right in the corner of the crossbar, and Linnell had no chance on it. And it looked like it doesn't tell me how far away the shot is. But if you're just listening and not watching, that was from about the 30-yard line. The 25 to 30-yard range on the football field. That you couldn't have, made that any more accurate. That was a beautiful shot. Goal number 2 for Montana Hadley on the season, as that defender's dream. A 40-yard rocket is the official call on there. And I like the term rocket, statistician, who was on the other side of the wall of me. I like it. 40-yard rocket is absolutely correct. As this one gets right into the hands of Tar, and Tar has no problem handling it all whatsoever as she high-fives Bailey Kroll. Tar just looking around and finally boots this one away and sign her up for the football team. Better than our punter that we have now. Oh, I'm having fun here. Hope you guys are having fun watching this game if you are watching it. And if you aren't here, come on down to Legend Solar Stadium, as we do have an early lead from our Lady Trailblazers. And coming up after 30 minutes after the final whistle, we have the men coming in. Going up against Point Loma as well as a doubleheader. As the men always looking like they're the better team. Some luck of the draw hasn't exactly gone their way per se, but they're looking to turn it around, as they have already dropped 2 games in Pac West play after going undefeated last year. But switching the topic here, this women's team, they look offensively really, really talented. That's their 41st goal on the year, and this is their 14th game. That is almost 4 goals a game. Now, 3 goals a game. Excuse me. 3 goals a game. And if you can average 3 goals a game, you're doing something right. And they average just under a goal a game. And that's a long ball to Darian Murdoch. This is trouble, as Linnell does the right thing and comes out of her box to make that shot not happen, as Bailey Kroll kicks it up all the way to Singley again, and Singley fighting for the ball, and that one's kicked up, as that is going to be saved by Teagle. And that's going to be Hunter running around with the ball, finds the outside. That's Vogelsberg. Vogelsberg steps over the ball, beats her defender. The defender catches back up. As this one, as Montana Hadley battling it out, as she drops this one all the way back to Tar. And Tar sends it right back to Hadley, get things going again. As that one gets flicked on by the defense, Hadley almost there, but Linnell making the quick reaction to it. And I like what I see from this freshman so far. Yes, the unfortunate on her part, not able to get up there, as she is only listed as 5'8". So that is going to be a disadvantage to any goalkeeper, really. If you have a hard time going for those crossbar blocks, then people are going to take advantage of that. As there's a wide open sea line on the right side of the field, that's going to be Bollable. As they do a little 1-2, and we get a cross, a shot on goal, and no problem for Tar. No problem at all. One thing that I do like about our soccer team is they're really serious on the field, as most teams are. But the way they're able to act off the pitch, in classrooms, around campus, it amazes me. They don't act, like they're higher than anybody else because, they're on the really good soccer team. They're really casual about it, and I have a class with the goalkeeper, Felicity, and she is by far the most entertaining student that I have encountered with in college, and she's just super funny, and she makes the class interesting, and I can't say enough about her. Like she's a great soccer player, a great goalie. She's also a great class clown. I'm just gonna throw that out there. As that one gets won by the Sea Lions, and this one's going down, and Mertz is just going to drop it back over to Tar. As Vogelsberg couldn't quite get there in time to save it, as we do have a substitution. We got Tori Page coming in for Jill Bennett, and it looks like Easton Kawawaki, Jessica Taylor, and Bella Diaz are all checking in for the Sea Lions right now. As this one is won by Vogelsberg and trying to advance the ball, but all the lanes are being covered as that one goes back to Lamb, and Lamb sends it all the way back to Kroll on the left side, and Kroll looked for the long ball, and trying to flick it is going to be Singley. Is a little step over move by Vogelsberg out on the right side of the field, and see if she can beat her defender. Gets the ball in, and unable to get the shot on goal is going to be Hunter, as she didn't have a defender draping all over her. As we do have a substitution, Alexa Estridge, a St. George native. Is that the right term? Native? Anyway, went to Dixie High School here, staying down here to go to school, and I'm sure she's loving it. As the whole joke in the broadcasting field, she's having the time of her life. And coming out was going to be Tana Singley, getting a little breather. As immediately Estridge making a diving tackle, and here comes trouble. Here it comes. Darian Murdoch couldn't quite get the head on the ball. Hoping the ball would come down a little bit, but good timing by Linnell, and a lot of opportunities early on here in the first half. This one is just booted forward by Parkinson, and Murdoch is there once again on her horse. And the Sea Lions, other than a few runs here and there, their offense has pretty much stayed put, not stringing together a lot of the passes, and a bad pass by Kroll. It's almost like she was trying to pass it in. Tar is there to make the save, and Bailey Kroll, I'm sorry, but you need to buy Tar a dinner. You owe her one. She had your back on that. You owe her dinner. As it was almost like Kroll was trying to give Kawawaki a free open goal, it seemed like. I know that's not the intention, but watch it on the tape, and it was like, here you go, here's a free goal, but Tar comes up big. As the fake move by Verisic, and reminds me of how my high school team used to play, with all the little fakes and the head fakes, the body fakes. Gotta love it as Tori Page is looking for the long ball again and does find Vogelsberg on the outside, and Vogelsberg trying to get the turn, trying to get Hadley to run after it, but unable to make the run, and that goes out. or a Sea Lion throw-in. As Murdoch nearly getting the long ball again, and the last game that I did, I believe, well, let me look it up right here. It was against Cal Baptist. I was here for that game, and they kept trying to do the long ball, and it wasn't working. Cal Baptist, a much better team than Point Loma, I will say that. But so far, it's causing trouble, and that is a penalty kick for the Trailblazers and Alexa Estridge. That was a great veteran move, as she was going up for the header, and the defender was right there as she backs up into her and maybe flops. I'm not going to be the judge of that. But we have Darian Murdoch lining up for the penalty kick. I'm going to say she's going left. Left indeed, and it is 2-0. Her 17th goal on the year, outscoring the entire Sea Lion roster, and this is turning out. This could turn out to be a, I don't want to jinx it, but a blowout. As you may have heard it, but Montana Hadley, or excuse me, not Montana. Darian Murdoch just broke the school record for most goals in a season with 17, and put her name on a platform once again, as Darian Murdoch is doing Darian Murdoch things. As there is a foul on the play. It looks like Hunter may be a little bit shaken up. "17 goals, though. I can only imagine. Being a defender, scoring one was the glory. I couldn't even imagine doing that 17 times. That was impressive. That's an impressive feat. As that one, she gets knocked around inside the box, but no call, as the ref probably didn't want to give away back-to-back penalty kicks, and that one gets cleared away by the Sea Lions, but Bailey Kroll is there to play defense on two defenders. Doesn't get it past the second one, and that's a good slide by Murdoch, but the referee didn't like it. As the defense looking in sync. As that's Tori Page looking for the outside man, gets it. It's going to be Hadley kicking it up to Vogelsberg, and Vogelsberg doesn't quite get the touch on it. And it goes out for a Sea Lion throw, and coming in is going to be Katie Freeberg. Katie, senior out of Seattle, Washington, as coming out, looks like it's going to be Fernanda Osorio. Throw in for the Sea Lions. Batted around, and a little bit of a body up, but that one gets cleared away by Parkinson. As here's a counterattack opportunity, as this one's gonna get kicked up. Morgan Pierce, though, to stop it as Vogelsberg spins around and gets the ball and controls it once again. Finding in the middle is going to be Lamb, and Lamb finds Page, and Page is dropping it back to Kroll, and Kroll's just going to attempt to cross this in the middle. Finds a Trailblazer, but not in the middle, and Vogelsberg's dancing around. Here comes Hadley for another long shot, but not this time, as this one was from about the 30-yard line, and if you've already made one from that distance, why not try to keep going for it? As we do have a substitution for the Sea Lions, it's going to be Jackie Gerardin. And number 24 is going to be Abby Swanson. Coming out is going to be Jessica Taylor. And it looks like it made number 19, Sarah Steinhaus. So a couple more fresh legs coming into the game. That is Pierce sending that one up top. Doesn't get control of it, however, and here comes Murdoch once again. It's a one-on-one on the outside, and she's going to go right, cuts back in, doesn't have the shot, but gets the pass off, and Hunter is there and bouncing it around in the middle. Gets it to the flick on the outside, and it's going to get crossed in the middle, and it is a goal. Sold for number 4, Tori Page, and a beautiful string of events right there. The flick to the outside from, not Hadley, from Murdoch, gets the flick to the outside. Vogelsberg gets the angle. Instead of taking the shot like I would have, that's why I play defense, she sends it back in the middle, and Tori Page is right there to one-touch it into the top of the net, and here we go. And this is why the Trailblazers are one of the highest scoring Division II teams in the nation, as you see right there, as that ball goes back and Murdoch is coming in like a freight train, and Linnell can't do anything but kick this one out of play. Three nothing. 30 minutes into the half, and it to me, it seems like the Trailblazers are just a better team. They're not doing anything special. They're not doing anything unique. They're just playing good soccer, as that one got deflected off of a Sea Lion defender, and another opportunity here for the Trailblazers. Maybe we can see, a diving header. I'd love to see that. I haven't seen a diving header in a very long time, let's just say that much, but nope. That one's going to get played short, and Hadley's going to send this one back in, and that one is headed out. No counterattack, but we do have a 50-50 ball, and that's going to be Kelsey Cook. Kelsey Cook looking for someone to pass to, just keeps dribbling it up and finds down the outside is Hadley. As that's a flick, and here comes Murdoch again, and it gets kicked out, and it looks like it's gonna be a throw-in indeed on the goal line. And if you don't already know, it's gonna be Nicole Mertz, aka Front Flip Mertz, basically doing a corner kick. It's incredible what she can do, as every time the ball is within 20 yards, if it's with the 18, she's throwing it in, as that one gets thrown in right in the middle in the sun, and no one able to pick it up, as the Sea Lions just kicked that out, but Cook is there to stop it, and that one gets advanced up, and Another reset opportunity as Parkinson's in the back. Parkinson listed as a midfielder, but playing center back. I was talking to Felicity, and there is another Trailblazer that's in my class, and I was talking to them a little bit about the formation after the Cal Baptist game, and I was asking them, I said, are you guys going to keep the 3-back formation, which is what they were playing early on in the season, and here we go, Murdoch again, the one-on-one gets the shot off, but there to make the stop is gonna be Bowlable. But yes, I was asking them, is Coach Bingham gonna, change things up? Is she gonna drop the stopper and play a 2-sweeper formation? What other things, is your coach looking to do? And they told me, they told me that they were gonna, go to the 2-sweeper formation, and they were gonna drop a defensive midfielder, which it looks like. They're playing that front, the flat 4, which is what most professional teams do now. And they are dropping either one midfielder or they're dropping 2, and they're doing a 4-2-3-1, which allows Murdoch to be up there by herself, as they do have the 2 wingers, and the 2 wingers right now are Vogelsberg and Page. As Murdoch wins the ball inside the box and goes out for a throw-in, and Murdoch looking dangerous here in the first half with her penalty kick goal, looking for another one. I do remember playing ASO growing up, and sometimes I'd get picked to do the penalty kick and I'd score, and it just didn't feel the same. It didn't feel like a real goal, and so, Darian probably wants another one, a real one. As this one gets bounced around again, and no one at the top of the box to take a shot on goal, and that one is kicked out, and Kroll is going to take this one up. She beats defenders. She splits 2 defenders, nearly gets by a 3, wins the ball back inside of the box, and Linnell is there to pick up the slow roller. Excuse me, I have been saying this wrong the entire game. I was originally right. It is Jessica Warner in goal. It just looked like, I don't have a super zoom camera, but it looked like on the bench was number 1 and in the goal was number 0, but in fact it is flippity flop. So it's actually Jessica Warner, the senior, in goal. My apologies. As this one's just going to be played down to Tar again. As this one's going to go out for a Lady Trailblazer throw-in. As the Sea Lions unable to string more than 3 passes together, and this is going to be Bowlable. Down the sideline, this one's just going to get smacked in there, but denying that is Mertz. And a shot, I believe, from about the 30-yard line. And Tar's just going to, she's going to tool around with the Sea Lion attacker, just playing around with it until she comes over and pressures her. And that's not taunting by any means. It's, if nobody pressured her, she could stay back there all game. And it doesn't count for the 7 seconds that they're allowed to hold on to the ball for, because it's not with their hand. And Vogelsberg going down the side and beats her defender, as that one goes out for a throw-in. And Mertz is like, do I really want to throw it in? I'm going to have to run halfway across the field just to run back. She's going to do it anyway. As that one gets deflected, nearly going in the goal, and Murdoch trying to beat her defender and gets slid, and that's going to be a free kick for the Trailblazers. As this corner kick goes in and it's bouncing around, this is trouble. Murdoch getting a couple kicks on it and a good save by Warner, and this one's just going to roll out for a Sea Lion goal kick. In other sporting events for the Trailblazer Nation, we do have men's and women's cross country, as that was this morning. Don't have any of the results yet, but you got that. You had the football going on. You got softball going across the street. It's a busy day here in the athletics, and how else but to be up 3-0 right now in a competitive Pac-West conference, as that is a shot on goal, and Tara's just going to keep it at her feet again, just dancing around back there, and as she's pretending to pick it up, and there's a little bit of fun from Felicity, is that's just who she is. There's a couple collisions. It's going to be Estridge. And that's going to get flicked up to Murdoch. And Murdoch's probably got to have the best endurance on this entire team. All those long balls designed for her. Exactly. She is probably, if not one of the best one-on-one attackers in Division II women's soccer. It's truly incredible how well she is with her skills. As this one's gonna get shorted of Murdoch. As this one's just gonna get kicked out of play. And Hadley's gonna throw it in. Nope. Estridge says, I want it. As it just looks like the Trailblazers are just taking this one tactically, as this one does get rolled out of bounds and Hadley just throws the ball away. Other scores going on right now. Academy of Art came victorious over Holy Names University 2-0. Hawaii Pacific plays Notre Dame Dana Mirror travels to Hawaii Pacific. As that game is still going on right now, I believe. I do not have a score for it yet. Concordia victorious over Biola University 1-0. And Fresno Pacific is taking on Azusa Pacific, as that game is live right now. As both teams just looking to end this first half on possibly an aggressive note, as Sea Lions making an attempt, and Mertz is just probably going to kick this one way out of play, and she does just do that, as about 20 seconds left in the first half. And that's going to be London Gailey. As that will probably most likely. And there you have it. At the end of the first half, your Lady Trailblazers 3, Point Loma Sea Lions 0. As there is going to be a 15-minute intermission. I will come back with about 3 minutes left in the half. So go ahead, enjoy your halftime. I'm going to enjoy my halftime. And if you are in the area, if you're driving by, you got nothing else to do, come on down to Legend Solar Stadium. If you're a student, it's free. That's right. I said it's free. Why would you have to pay for it? Come on down, bring some snacks. Have a good Saturday. I'll be back in 12 on the Trailblazer Athletic Network.
Yeah, just a second.
Welcome back. Sorry if I startled you. I was waiting for my food at halftime, so I apologize for the late start on my end. However, it's still 3-0. I was on the way down, or I'm sorry, on the way back up. I didn't see much happening other than that injury to Kylie Lamb. I didn't quite see what happened. She is being checked out by the trainer right now, and we all hope for the best. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, as it does look like it might be her right knee. And as a soccer player, your knees can be your worst nightmare. Update across the scoreboard in the Pac West Conference. Chaminade and Notre Dame, Dana Muir, double overtime. I believe if it's not over already, it looks like it went into double overtime and it tied at 3-3. And that it helps out Dixie. It doesn't pressure them in the standings. Notre Dame now has 12 points, and Chaminade's only going to have 8. That one's not the big one. Dominican does come victorious over Holy Names, 4-2. So Dominican's going to have 10 points, and Holy Name's still looking for that first win of the season. And Cal Baptist as a collision inside of the box doesn't get the call, and Murdoch's not going to say anything. She's not going to flop. She's going to play tough. And that's why I call the women's games. They don't complain ever. And I like that a lot. As Cal Baptist did beat Azusa Pacific. So if Dixie State comes out with a win today, they'll jump up to second place in the Pac West Conference. They'll be 1 point ahead of Azusa, and they'll be 3 points behind Cal Baptist. So they'll still be a game behind them. But now they're in a place where they can host a playoff game, and that's huge. You want that. And in other scores, Fresno Pacific does blank out Academy of Art. So Fresno Pacific does get that win. And if Dixie does win as well, okay, they'll both be tied for second place. But since the Trailblazers did beat Fresno Pacific earlier this year, I believe so. No, they have not. They must have some sort of tiebreaker. I'm guessing it's goals for. I'm not exactly sure how the whole standing situation happens, but that would break the tie between them and Fresno Pacific. They do have Fresno Pacific next week, Thursday, on the 26th, and that game is going to be highly anticipated because they're going to be fighting for the top 2 spot if Cal Baptist can't lose, and that's going to be their own destiny. They're going to be in control of it. And so those are the scores from today's matches. The big one was Cal Baptist beating Azusa, allowing the Trailblazers to jump into second place, and I'm sure Coach Bingham isn't saying anything to them. There's still about 5 games left. As that one hits the wall hard, and Vogelsberg going down. This is a counterattack opportunity as it is one-on-one on the outside, and Vogelsberg unable to, but sends it back up to Murdoch, and Murdoch unable to get it. But that 1-0 win between the 1 and 2 seeds was a big one, in fact. But I was saying, I'm sure Casey Bingham hasn't said anything to her team, not wanting them to let up or have them get worried in their heads. Probably just let them know after the game, which is probably the smart thing to do. When I was in high school and we were in playoff contention, I was the guy to go to for our whole team to know who won and who didn't, because I knew people that knew people that knew people, and so on. And if I knew that there was a game going on before us, I would keep it to myself. I wouldn't tell my team, but I would keep it to myself, whether another team won or lost. And did it affect my play? No, it didn't affect me, but I couldn't let that happen to my teammates, and I'm sure the Trailblazers are in the same situation. There's a shot from way out there and off the post, and Murdoch unable to get the deflection to go her way, but what a shot, as these high balls are not going in the way of the keeper Warner. And that was a rocket, and that was Katie Hunter from about 30 yards out, and unfortunate for her, as this could have been a 4-goal lead.
Check the live stream on the iPad.
Because my dad's saying all he can hear are 2 little girls playing. he's watching it online. That says that's all he can hear.
He's calling me a little girl. That's what he's saying.
No.
Check the live stream too.
No, my dad said he still can't hear me.
Yeah? It was working.
I'm gonna start talking.
Still streaming. Yeah.
As this one's getting played in the backfield, as this one goes out of bounds, nearly hitting. Looks like a walker, as that goes out for a Sea Lion throw-in. And to throw it in for the Sea Lions is, looks like it's going to be number 15, Jackie Girardin. Jackie drops it back down all the way to the defense. And I apologize, I've been getting some comments that you guys haven't been able to hear me the last 10 minutes or so, and I apologize. A little bit of technical difficulties, but I am here, and I've been here for the last 10 minutes, and I'm sorry about that. as this one's getting played in the back. An opportunity for the Sea Lions as that one goes out for the AR, says it's a goal kick. To kick for the Sea Lions, looks like it's going to be Ashley Smith. As this one gets sent in, good arc on it, and Tar just bats that one out of there. Diving effort, and maybe not a diving effort, but as there is a big collision from Murdoch, and holds onto her knee just for a split second, gets up, runs it off. She's fine. As this one looking for another setup from the Sea Lions, as Hadley looks to turn this, and a near tackle, and London Gailey doesn't want to believe it, as like she could try out for our football team, making that solid tackle. As Fernanda Osorio trying to make the substitution. As that's going to be a free kick or a throw-in. It looks like it's going to be a throw-in. Excuse me, it is going to be a free kick for the Sea Lions, and that's going to be Abby Swanson, the junior from Huntington Beach, California. Gorgeous place that is. She's going to send this one in. Got the leg for it, but Parkinson says no. I'm sorry, Estridge says no, and Tar is going to handle this one nicely. A little more technical difficulties. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I apologize if I'm not clear enough. I want to say that I am clear enough. But we're trying to fix that as soon as possible, as that one's going to get sent up to Murdoch again, and Murdoch not wanting to give the effort in that she usually does, and I'm sure she's exhausted as everything is coming her way, as the flick attempt by Hunter be Page making the effort to pass it over to Christensen as Christensen gets in, and it looks like they are playing that 4-1. It looks like it's a 4-1-4-1 now. A little bit of shift in formation. Mertz finding Vogelsberg out on the bottom of the screen as that one goes back to Hadley. So that one's going to get dropped all the way to Warner, and Warner sends it right back, and another flick on by Abby Swanson. And a good couple of moves, and unable to keep the ball close is Hunter. Beat one defender. As this one's getting played in the backfield, Mertz flicks it over to Hadley, and Hadley kicks it up. As the through ball nearly getting to Murdoch, and Murdoch gets tripped up. That was a good defensive play. As another long ball. Gonna keep going with it. Why not? As that's going to be a foul against the Trailblazers, and I believe that's going to be Christensen picking up the foul. As that one's getting played in the field, and Hadley looking to advance the ball, and Hunter sends it back over to Mertz, and a good passing in the defensive third. As Kroll sending it over to Christensen, and Christensen looking to advance the ball, and that's going to be Tori Page getting the ball, going back up the line for the 1-2. Looking to beat her defender on the outside. Gets to beat the defender, looking for the cross, and nobody is there. And that one gets kicked out of the box by Swanson. As Bella Diaz working the outside and cutting it back in is going to be Jackie Girardin. As Vogelsberg fighting off two defenders, as Hadley's going to send this one back up to Hunter. Hunter bounces it off to Vogelsberg, and Vogelsberg with the fake step over, and she sends that into Murdoch. Murdoch looking to screen someone, gets the shot, and it skims the top right corner as we have a platoon swap here for the Sea Lions, as that's going to be Abby Teagle coming in, Fernanda Osorio coming in, and Ashley Smith coming in. And coming in for the Trailblazers is going to be Jill Bennett, and she will be replacing Tori Page, as Tori Page has had a well-rounded game. As this one's going down the far end of the sideline, getting kicked inside of the box, and Warner's going to get there again. There's a lot of early opportunities in the attacks, but unable to make the runs, as it looks like fatigue may be a factor. Coming in with these late runs in the game. Murdoch nearly getting the ball, gets stripped away, but able to get the ball back just for a short second, as that is Esther's getting ahead on it and booting it out of play for the Sea Lions. Is going to be, looks like it is number 18, Madeline Denbaugh. We have a new face coming into the game. It's going to be Savannah Hill. Tana Singley comes back in, and Capri Goldsmith makes her first appearance in today's game. As Capri is also in my class with Felicity. Both great. They're just great people. It's always fun being able to talk to somebody when it comes to soccer, because very few people that I know a lot about the game, and it's always nice to be able to talk strategy with a couple, other people that I'm usually not familiar with, as Capri is arguing that it's supposed to be their throwing, but the referee points in the C-line direction, and that one's going to get played in, and Diaz is running it down and shielding off the ball. It's going to be Parkinson, and good play by her as that goes out for a goal kick. Tar going to kick this one away. As that one nearly makes midfield. Goldsmith attempts to flick it up towards Murdoch. Murdoch is there. As looks like it's gonna be a handball going against the Trailblazers. As this one's just getting played in the backfield. As that threw a ball, able to make it up to Teagle, and Teagle steps over, takes it down the far side of the field, and nobody is there as Tar's gonna chase this one out of her box and just take it back in, wait for an attacker to get there, and tools around with her once again, and as that's Teagle once again going up with Bailey Kroll, and a clean tackle by Kroll as Teagle falls to the ground. As Murdoch falls back off of that one. As no one's there, and the Sea Lions are there to pick it up. This could be trouble as there's a shot on goal. It looked like it was deflected, and that goes out for a Sea Lion corner kick. As the corner kick was unsuccessful by the Sea Lions, as that's Goldsmith fighting for 50-50, and a questionable call by the assist referee, excuse me, and as that's going to be not Morgan Pierce, as that's Gerard and falling to the ground on that 50-50, and no complaints from the Trailblazer team, and another reason why I like calling these games so much better. There's no arguments, as that shot on goal easily handled by Tar, and Tar really hasn't been that challenged today at all. Her defense has played a very well played game, and not allowing very many shots at all. And maybe this is the first time that I'm seeing this flat 4 defense, but it looks like it's working, and it had to have been working if they're on a 4-game winning streak, about to be on a 5-game winning streak. If nothing prevails, as we have about 11 minutes as Darian Murdoch comes off the field for the first time this game, and hats off to her. She's played a fantastic game. As Hadley sends this one back up, and I think we finally figured out our technical difficulties. I'll find out from my producer what exactly went wrong. I'm just up here in the booth. I'm not messing with the mixer. I'm not doing any of that techie stuff. I just tell you what happens. And so I'll find that out, and I'll let you guys know. But you guys can finally hear me now, 100%. It's all good. Welcome back. I apologize once again if you haven't been able to hear me the last 30 minutes. But it's still 3-0 Trailblazers, as it looked like they're just going to be passing around the ball and controlling it. As offense has been a little bit of a struggle for the Sea Lions today, and they haven't looked fluid at all. They've just been 1-2 passes, and that's it. They can't strand a bunch of passes together. There's no movement on their side of the field, and maybe that's just the case that that the Trailblazer defense is just, they're that balanced, and giving them that flat 4 back really helps them with the advantages. Tar just keeps messing around with these attackers, and I'd be annoyed. If I was the forward on that and she kept doing that to me, or if he kept doing that to me, I'd say something to her. Like, just pick up the ball. I mean, don't tool around with me. But that is soccer etiquette. It's gamesmanship. And that's something that I was always taught as a player. Play the game. Respect the game. As a little bit of a collision. As Tar just holds on to the ball, and high arcing end over end punt. This isn't football, but a beautiful punt nonetheless. As coming on is going to be Alexa Estridge, and coming out is going to be Kimi Hunter, and it looks like her night is over as they're approaching 8 minutes left in this game. And Goldsmith passes it back to Hadley, and it bounces off of Hadley after a defending challenge, and it goes out for a Sea Lion throw-in. As that looks like it's going to go out for a Trailblazer throw-in, and it looks like Murdoch's going to come back in. I mean, why not? I want to see another goal. I'm sure she wants to get another goal too. As that one gets lasered, and Tori Page sandwiched by 2 defenders. This one's going to get sent up to Joe Bennett, and Bennett trying to find Estridge. As this one gets dropped back down to Girardin. Good pressure by the Trailblazers as they've been doing all day, and that pressure right there just forced that bad pass, and a foul called on the play, and it may look like he's bringing out the card, and he does. He brings out the card and shows it to Abby Teagle. And, you know, maybe the right call on that one. It was a potential game advancement. So maybe the right call, as it is ending the game. A little bit of emotions are kicking in a little bit of frustration. So I'd say that was the appropriate call, as that one gets all the way inside of the box. As Goldsmith's there to pick it up from that speedster she is. She brings a lot of that to the table, spins around and making cuts left and right, beats two defenders over to Mertz, and Mertz, this could be trouble as the Sea Lions get the head on it, as that one gets booted away, and that's going to be Singley unable to get the last touch on it before it gets into the goal, or into the box, excuse me, and Mertz just taps this one out of play, and quick restart by the Sea Lions. As this one is just going to be played around, and oh, excuse me, it looked like it was going to be a throw-in. I didn't quite catch the call there. Looks like it's going to be credited with a foul. A little bit of a shove, but play on, as that's Estridge moving the ball up to Singley, and Singley loses control of it, and going down hard. It's going to be Hill. Hill getting her couple minutes of action that she gets, being the freshman she is. And there's the back door. Let's see if Tar is unable to make the save, and she is absolutely frustrated with her back line. She's ticked off, as you know, she's letting her defense know, you guys need to drop back. They're bringing in numbers. You got to come back with them. And it did get through Mertz, and neither Kroll or Hadley, excuse me, not Hadley, Kroll or the other center back, Mertz, that's who it was. They didn't have the back line, and they left two guys in the back, allowing that ball to sneak right in, and an easy goal opportunity. As that goal is going to be awarded to Ashley Smith. That's her third goal of the season. Now she's tied for first with the leading goal scoring position, as now it is 3-1. So maybe the Trailblazers shouldn't give up too lightly now, not to saddle off too much. That is only the 13th goal of the year that they have given up, and for the Sea Lions, it's going to be their 17th goal of the season. The same amount that Darian Murdoch herself has won, as the substitutions have still yet to be made, as we now have Kami Hunter joining Vogelsberg. As the Sea Lions looking for another lane, but no lanes to be given. As that's Kroll taking the challenge. As the free kick is awarded to the Sea Lions. Abby Swanson to be doing the kick, and that's going to be right on target, right to Tar, It is no problem at all for her. She handles that one well. As we are approaching the 88th minute, as this one bounces right in the center logo of Brooks. As that's gonna be Christensen playing it around in the backfield. As we got a shot on goal denied by Hadley. Paige is gonna kick it back to Hadley, and Hadley's looking for someone to pass to, and she does. Christensen unable to gain possession of it. As there is pressure from the Sea Lions, a little bit of relentless, as this one's just blasted out of play, but a ball boy right there to give the ball to the Sea Lions. As that's going to be Paige kicking that up. As there's 89th minute, and Tar going to come up and take the ball. There's a little bit of an encounter between her and Ashley Smith. As the Sea Lions not giving up, even though they are down 2. As this one's going wide and getting sent in, Tar's right there, and every time she catches it, it doesn't even move. It just sticks right to her glove. She had a couple sneezes right there. Probably that bored. Just stop kicking me the ball already. As that is a giant, high skyrocketing kick by Bennett. There's 1 minute left in the game, and looks like it's going to be a free kick for the Sea Lions as they are trailing by 2, and it looks like they're going to lose their first game. First game since October 7th against Cal Baptist, who they did play tough. They did lose 2-1. The number 1 team in the conference, so this team has talent. They're just young. As this one is just going to be taken up by Murdoch all the way down the sideline, and Murdoch wins the ball again. We're going to see another goal right here. There's a shot, but it is a low dribbler all the way to Warner, and Warner's just going to boot this as far as she can, and she does.
10, 9.
And both teams are just going to let the clock run out, and
3, 2, 1.
There is your final whistle. Your Dixie State Trailblazers get the victory by a score of 3-1. Your goal scorers for the Trailblazers.
And that's the match, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
going to be, the first goal was by Montana Hadley, that 40-yard laser in the first half, up in the upper corner. Then you get Tori Page.
In about 30 minutes time, so make sure to stick around.
Tori Page had her goal, and then of course the penalty kick by Darian Murdoch. And of course, for the Sea Lions, it's going to be Ashley Smith getting that bouncing through ball and a one-toucher into the back of the net. Dixie State, they are now in second place in the Pac-West Conference, improving to 11-3 on the year and 7-2 in Pac-West play. And Point Loma drops to 6-1 and 5-4 in Pac-West play, and they are on the outside looking in. And this is going to be interesting for the Trailblazers going into the top of into the final couple of weeks of the season. They're going to be trailing Cal Baptist by 3 points, but the win today makes them tied with Fresno Pacific in second place, with the Azusa Pacific losing. And with a couple games left, one of them against Azusa Pacific and Fresno Pacific. There's a tough schedule coming up, and it's not going to be easy. But I mean, no game is ever easy. No game's ever handed to you. But I will give a hand to our Lady Trailblazers today. They came out tough. Didn't get that goal in the second half like I thought they would. I thought they might have opened this up a little bit further. But nonetheless, it was a very well-played game all around. They had good defense. They had good unity in the backfield. Their offense was spreading it left, right, and center. And, I applaud them. And, I will let my two classmates know they did a phenomenal job, and a lot of adjustments were made since the last game that I saw, which was Cal Baptist, a 4-1 defeat weeks ago, and they those improvements were much needed. As you can see, they're on their 5th game in a row. They've given up 2 goals in the last 5 games, and that defense has just been coming in clutch for them. And their next game is going to be Tuesday on the 24th, traveling to Holy Names, as this concludes their 2-game homestand. And Holy Names still yet to get on the winning side of the board. So we'll see how that one goes. And following that, the next time that you guys will hear me on the women's soccer game is going to be next week, Saturday, against UC Irvine, which they are 5-2 in the conference, 6-4-1 overall. So, next week we'll hope for more of the same thing. And it's going to get loud. That's my cue that I need to be out of here. Kyle will be calling the men's game for you guys. I appreciate all of you listeners out there. If you aren't going to come down to the men's game, come down to the men's game and enjoy some great soccer from our men's soccer team. And this is going to conclude the end of our broadcast. I'm James Guerin. We'll see you next week. Aloha.